So if you're struggling with a flip and a roll release going through the golf ball leading to massively inconsistent shots, there's a good chance you're doing this right arm move going through the golf ball. So if we can clear up our right arm move going through that ball, we'll have a much better chance of having a nice passive release going through the golf ball with minimal club face closure, more consistent shots. So I'm Jonathan Chown with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it. Now, what is this trail arm movement that's going to cause me to flip through that golf ball? And that is your trail arm, so for me, my right arm, disconnecting away from my body as I'm coming through the golf ball. So as I'm moving through, you can see how a lot of daylight is appearing underneath my arm and my body here. So why that causes you to flip release through that golf ball is really a couple reasons. Because one, you can see if my right arm is disconnecting away from my body, then it's not moving with my body's pivot. It's not rotating around with my body. Because when we rotate freely, our hands will follow our rotation. So if my hands and my arms are disconnecting away from me, now they're moving in another direction. That's not my rotational movement. So when those arms are moving independently, they're going to have their own rotational move, which is the flip release going through there. They will always flip if they get a little bit disconnected from the body's pivot. So another reason why is when that right arm disconnects, it also straightens. And you can see as soon as I straighten that right arm, that club face is going to close, because when I straighten my right arm, my right hand is going to turn over that golf club there. So we can see it can really cause a lot of issues there. And to be honest, a flip release going through that is the least of your worries from this problem. Because you can see if I really disconnect my trail arm going through the golf ball, I'm actually going to expose the hosel going into that shot. So there's a very big chance I could hit a shank doing this as well. So you know that's a problem you want to fix if you could hit a shank and a shot where you can't really predict whether it's going left or right from there. So one of the main reasons I'm seeing players disconnect the trail arm going through the golf ball is actually what they're trying to do post impact. A lot of players are trying to get that club traveling down the target line post impact. They're trying to do that obviously to hit the ball straight, because you can see the logic of why they'd think that is. If your club is traveling down that target line, well, it kind of makes sense for the ball to start down target line as well. But we know that's not the case. Wherever that club face is pointing at impact will dictate that start line. But certainly disconnecting that right arm going through the golf ball won't really result in a straight shot. So what we need to happen, because if we get that happening, the right arm is going to disconnect from our body. We know in a golf swing, we're swinging on an arc around our body. So the arc does not jot out down the target line, that's for sure. It doesn't go out towards the right as I'm going through the golf ball. It goes around my body. That's the swing arc, around my body. So really, ultimately following my body's rotation. So as we said, if I'm disconnecting the arms are disconnecting away from my pivot, away from my rotation. So if I can get that club to continue to travel on the swing arc, so that means as I'm coming through the golf ball, exiting left around me, so I'm not pulling it in, I'm just letting it follow my body's rotation through there. And you can see straight away that right arm is now more connected to my side and it's following the swing arc. I'd have a much better chance of controlling my club face too, which will give me a better chance to hit that ball down my target line there. So it will really help you with club face control there. So okay, we know we want to be getting those hands to follow around the arc, following our body's rotation there and not really disconnecting away from us. So let's try one, really getting my hands to go around me and follow that arc. That right arm's going to be way more connected. Okay, to have that more passive release through the golf ball, we need our club to continue to travel on the arc around our body, which is essentially keeping our arms attached to our pivot and really rotating through that golf ball, having that passive face. Because if we disconnect that trail arm, it's in efforts possibly to get that club to travel down the target line, that's always going to result in the flip, maybe even a shank, like we said there. So how we do this, of course, we could think about it, conscious thought, but that would be really difficult to do. Conscious thought alone, of let's say just thinking of the hands traveling around your body's rotation, club travel on the swing arc, will be what you need to do, but it's going to be far too hard for you to do with swinging a golf club in there. Practice swings, you'll be fine. Hitting a golf ball, maybe not. That's where we get into a good drill here. So what we need a glove. So take your glove off. We don't need it for, well, on our hand anyway. We need it underneath our trail arm, just like this. So really from here, just the simple objective again, simple in, theory, hard in practice. We need that glove to stay underneath our trail arm. If it's staying underneath our trail arm, my right arm, trail arm there, is staying connected to my body. That means my hands are going to be traveling nicely around my body. Club's going to be following the swing arc. But then if this disconnects away, it's going to drop down to the ground there. So I'm going to get immediate feedback on how I've done here. So all we need, glove underneath the trail arm. Let's keep it connected underneath our arm. Let's move it and keep it there whilst we're moving through the shot, and we're going to hit a pretty good golf shot. So you can see there from the slow-mo, I really had a nice passive move with those hands just exited around my body. I wasn't physically trying to do it there. I was just trying to keep this underneath my trail arm. Right arm will stay connected, club will travel around our pivot a little bit better there. So absolutely, this will be a very hard one if you really struggle with this right arm disconnecting. So start small, build your way up. So really you could even start off with just some kind of chip shot type of feels here. Just really clip that ball down there. And as you get more comfortable, you can build that swing up to a fuller swing here. So once you've had enough practice with this underneath your trail arm, there's a cool little thing you can do, and you can take this out to the golf course, but not necessarily with the glove underneath your trail arm. You could do something a lot of tour players do. If you've watched Justin Rose over the years, you'll see him doing a specific thing before he goes and he hits that golf ball. He will grab a baggy bit underneath his shirt, tuck it in. What Justin Rose does is, at times, he'll tuck both sides in to keep him really nice and connected. So for us, let's say our right side. So with me tucking all that shirt in underneath my trail arm here, that is keeping me in that same sensation that I've got with that glove underneath my arm. Because I can feel here, with the amount of shirt I've tucked underneath my trail arm here, I can feel that underneath there. So if I disconnect, going through there, so if let's say I disconnect going through the golf ball, I'll feel all that amount of shirt just drop, and it won't feel too great. So if I can keep all that shirt underneath my trail arm, that'll give me the exact same sensation going through the golf ball, and it'll give me the exact same result. So you can imagine, because it's not a training aid, you can do that as you're playing rounds of golf. Top players in the world do it, you can do it too. So this is really one of the areas in the golf swing where you can really benefit from doing it correctly, really nicely, because usually for us, we have to work a lot on the driving range first to ingrain it into our golf swing, and then it will start to come out on the golf course maybe a few months later, if that. So really from here, you can take the drill onto the golf course straight away and get great reps out on the golf course and get the result of this on the golf course almost straight away there. So it's a brilliant one to take onto the course as soon as you start practicing it. So tucked underneath my trail arm, let's see what happens. So as you can see from the slow-mo, it looked pretty much the same as me doing the drill with the glove underneath my arm. And of course, it gives you the really nice sensation you need of those arms following the body's pivot, following the rotation. And we know that's what we need to have a square club face, not disconnect and flip through there. So this is really, again, one of those areas where we're taking down variables. We're making the golf swing a little bit less moving parts. If we're doing that, there's less to manage, and then we'll be playing a little bit more consistent golf more regularly. So if you like this video, of course, click that like button. And if you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So let's keep that trail arm connected, and you'll be moving a lot better through the golf ball.